Every year on November 1st, over 1 billion people around the world observe a sacred day. But here is what most people do not know. This holy celebration is directly connected to the spooky holiday you just celebrated yesterday. Stay with me, because what you are about to discover will completely change how you see both Halloween and All Saints' Day. All Saints' Day, also known as All Hallows' Day or the Feast of All Saints, is one of the most significant celebrations in the Christian calendar. While millions attend church services and visit cemeteries to honor the dead, very few understand the fascinating history behind this tradition. Today, we are diving deep into the origins of All Saints' Day and revealing 3 mind-blowing facts that will make you see this holiday in a completely new light. Let us travel back in time to understand where All Saints' Day truly began. The story starts in the early days of Christianity, when followers of Jesus faced brutal persecution. Thousands of Christians were martyred for their faith, and the early church wanted to honor their sacrifice. Initially, Christians celebrated the martyrs on the anniversaries of their deaths. But there was a problem. There were simply too many martyrs, and many died anonymously. The church needed a solution. So around the 4th century, they established a common day to commemorate all martyrs together. Here is where it gets interesting. On May 13th, in the year 609, Pope Boniface IV made a revolutionary move. He converted the Pantheon, a Roman temple dedicated to all pagan gods, into a Christian church. He dedicated it to the Virgin Mary and all martyrs. This was not just a religious act. It was a statement. Christianity was transforming the old pagan world into something new. But the date we know today, November 1st, was established about a century later. Pope Gregory III built a chapel in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome and dedicated it to all saints, not just martyrs. He chose November 1st as the feast day. Later, in the year 837, Pope Gregory IV made All Saints' Day an official obligation throughout the entire Christian world. Now let us reveal the first major fact that connects everything together. All Saints' Day is the reason Halloween exists in the first place. You heard that right. Halloween is not some random spooky holiday. The word Halloween is actually a shortened version of All Hallows' Eve, which means the evening before All Saints' Day. In Old English, saints were called Hallows, so the night before All Saints' Day was All Hallows' Eve, which eventually became Halloween. But the connection goes even deeper. The church deliberately chose November 1st, partly because it coincided with Samhain, an ancient Celtic festival marking the end of harvest and the beginning of winter. The Celts believed that on this night, the boundary between the living and the dead became thin, and spirits could cross over. The early Christian church was smart. Instead of trying to eliminate these deeply rooted pagan traditions, they transformed them. They placed All Saints' Day on November 1st, effectively Christianizing the old pagan celebrations. What was once a night of fear and superstition became a vigil before a holy day of honoring Christian saints. This is how the church converted entire cultures, not by force alone, but by adapting and transforming existing traditions. The second fascinating fact is how differently All Saints' Day is celebrated around the world. This is not a one-size-fits-all holiday. In many European countries like Poland, Spain, France, and Italy, All Saints' Day is a public holiday. Families gather at cemeteries to clean graves, light candles, and place fresh flowers, especially chrysanthemums. In Poland, the sight of thousands of candles illuminating cemeteries at night creates a breathtaking, almost magical atmosphere. It is called Zaduszki, and it is a deeply moving experience. In the Philippines, the celebration is enormous. Filipinos treat this as a family reunion, but at the cemetery. They spend the entire day and often the night at grave sites, bringing food, playing music, and sharing stories about their deceased loved ones. It is not somber. It is actually a celebration of life and family bonds that transcend death. In Mexico, All Saints' Day blends with the indigenous celebration called Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. While technically All Saints' Day is November 1st and All Souls' Day is November 2nd, the Mexican celebration extends across both days. Families create elaborate altars called ofrendas, decorated with marigolds, sugar skulls, and the favorite foods of the deceased. This is not about mourning, it is about remembering with joy. What ties all these traditions together is the core belief that death is not the end, and that the living maintain a spiritual connection with those who have passed on. The third crucial fact is about who exactly is being honored on All Saints' Day, and this might surprise you. All Saints' Day is not just about the famous saints you have heard of, like Saint Peter, Saint Francis of Assisi, or Saint Teresa. It is also about the unknown saints. The Church recognizes that countless holy people have lived throughout history whose names were never recorded, who never performed public miracles, but who lived lives of exceptional faith and virtue. Think about it. Throughout 2,000 years of Christianity, how many humble believers lived sacrificial lives, helped the poor, raised families with love, and died peacefully in their faith, but were never canonized? All Saints' Day honors them too. It honors your grandmother who prayed every day, your neighbor who quietly helped everyone in need, the missionary who died in obscurity. This is what makes the holiday truly powerful. The Catholic Church has a formal canonization process that has officially recognized over 10,000 saints. But the Church also acknowledges that the true number of saints in heaven is far greater, perhaps millions or billions. All Saints' Day celebrates this vast communion of holy souls. Today, All Saints' Day reminds believers that holiness is not reserved for a select few. It is a call to everyone. Every person is invited to live a life worthy of remembrance, to make choices that matter, to be kind, generous, and faithful. In essence, All Saints' Day is not just about honoring the past. It is about inspiring the present and the future. So there you have it. All Saints' Day is far more than just a date on the calendar. It is a bridge between ancient pagan festivals and Christian faith. It is a global celebration expressed through diverse cultural traditions. And it is a reminder that holiness is not about fame or miracles, but about living a life of genuine faith and love. Whether you celebrate All Saints' Day or not, there is something profound in taking a moment to remember those who came before us, who shaped our lives, and who inspire us to be better. What do you think about All Saints' Day now? Does it change how you see Halloween? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you learned something new today, smash that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories about history and traditions from around the world. See you in the next video.